All right, so this next video is going to cover the media part. We've already talked about using the camera, all the buttons and things, and what the recording is that you're going to do, or you maybe have already done. So if you've done your recording, you're ready for this step. We are going to pop out the SD card with files on it and then put it on a computer. From the computer, we're going to upload it to Drive in a shared folder, which is going to be shared to your group. And then the group is going to be able to download the files to their Chromebook and then upload them into WeVideo. And so let's get started. Here are two handy cams. I was using this one. It's Cam 9. They're all labeled with a number, sometimes on the bottom. This one has a different location for the SD card, so this is the one I'm going to actually pull out in a second and use. And in order to get to that, you can just pop it like this and then push the file in. When you're accessing the media, unless you have directions, Cam 9 needs to be rewritten probably, and Card 9, these two go together, same thing as Camera 1. And I don't know, I think there's a card in this one right now. You should make sure that your the viewfinder is closed and there's no lights blinking while you're removing the media. That's really the only way I can think of that you might have problems with it. This is the SD card. Open the door, push it in until it clicks, and it will pop out. The metal parts always kind of, on these ones, they go back towards the battery. The other side, and then if you try to put this in, it won't even let you put it in most cases. So first thing is get the SD card, make sure it's right, and make sure it's got the media on it. Another thing that maybe you should do, if you didn't do this step yet, is preview the media to see if there's anything on there. So let's go ahead and do that. I have to click here to get to menu. All right, actually, instead of doing it through the menu, I'm gonna click this button right here that's playback. And I could look and see what's on the card. And there are some files on it, not only my file, but some other files. So let me click that off. If you click that on and you don't have any files on your SD card, then you need to reshoot before you do this step. Okay, so next step, we have the SD card and we're gonna put it into a card reader. Now some computers like this Mac, they have a card reader right here. So the smaller input, and the way you figure out how it goes in is if it fits in that far, you are in really good shape. Let me see if I can zoom in on that just a little bit. So the number on the Macs face towards you. So what you'll notice once you plug it in, and this will not be the same on all computers, but let me zoom out a little bit. And let me see if I can move this so it doesn't have so much glare. Okay, so what you're gonna notice now is that up in the corner here, that disc has mounted. It's called No Name. It's just, we can change the name if we want. If that's Camera 9, if I click on it once and then twice, I can call it Card, so it was Card 9. So now that's not always the case with all computers, so I kind of want to show you how to do this with any computer. One of the things that you will do on this kind of Mac, let's see if I can get the whole screen in there. Okay, so you could click on that card in order to open up the Finder window, which is just basically a folder. That's all the Finder is. You have a Files app on your Chromebook. There is, I can't remember what it's called on PCs, Dell computers, stuff like that. It's just a folder. You just need to find it. On a Mac, it's this little face right down here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, this card is a little different because it comes from a slightly different camera. So sometimes, like this particular camera, getting the videos off of it is kind of a difficult thing. You look for this AVC HD, and then you're gonna drop it right onto the desktop is a good way to do it. And then if you open that up, it should have the video. So I did a take on this with the cam I'm not going to use, but I'm just showing you that's one way to do it. Now, when I've got the file on here, the next thing that I'm going to do, or files, if you're using the other camera, you're probably going to have quite a few files. So I'll just put that there. That's card 9. I am going to go ahead and take this out, and so I'm going to click and drag it down to the trash, or I could go back to the Finder window and look over on this side, and card 9 or no name, whatever it is, just eject, and then that will disappear. And then you can remove it safely at that point and put it back in the storage spot or back in the camera if you're shooting more that day. Okay, so I'm gonna use card 1 for right now, and I just totally lost track of it. Oh, here it is. Card 1's right here, number faces forward, and gotta find that place where there's a card reader. If it doesn't have a card reader built in the computer, if it has a USB port, you can always use that. With a external card reader that plugs in with a USB connection. So this one's called No Name also. I'm just gonna leave that for now. So here's how you find your files. You plug in the card, you click on the drive or the SD card. It's either gonna look like this on the desktop, or you open up the Finder window, and if you're not sure, you see if you hover over things, it'll show you what they do. Okay. So Finder, open, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on MP-Root, then 101 PNV01. I don't know why it's called that. That's just what they are called. And if you open that up, here are all the files. So one thing you can do is you can drag them all out and set them on the desktop. But I think it's probably easier if you put them in a folder. And so I'm just right-clicking, and getting a new folder. That's one way to do it. If you drop down this gear up here, there is also a new folder spot. Now, we don't need 2 untitled folders, so I'm just gonna drop that in the trash and get rid of it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this folder a name first. I'll call it Group 1 Files. And since we were filming a walking shot, I'm just gonna call it walking. Okay, so there we go. Group 1 files walking, they all need to go in there. I mean, if you actually know, what I'm trying to do is draw a box over them, and that will select all of them, and then I can pop them right in here. So from here, I just want it to go to Google Drive. It doesn't matter if you leave it in, actually it does matter. What you want to do now is if it's in this 101 PNV01, you have to get it onto the computer. So that could take a second. It's going to copy the items to the desktop. That means it's on the computer and it's not in here. One way to check is eject the card, and if this disappears, then you don't have it on the computer. Try again. Okay, so we can safely remove the card, and then the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to open a Google Chrome window, and I am going to go ahead and use a different account for just a moment. And we're going to make sure, you got to make sure that you are signed in, and you might want to make sure that only you are signed in. Okay, so if you are using this computer, you're going to have to sign into the browser actually. And you can do that by clicking up here and then using add. There probably won't be my account there by the time you come and use this computer. So anyway, I'm going to go. All right, so if it gives you this question here, I would just click link data, because when you sign out of this computer, which you need to do, turn on sync. Yep, I like to turn on sync because then if I have any bookmarks, they'll show up. And you don't really need bookmarks because you're not doing any further editing on here. You are going to go straight to your drive. And it's going to take a second to load up. These computers might be a little faster than your Chromebook sometimes. If it asks you to get Drive for Desktop, no, don't download anything. What we're going to do now is we're going to click New. And I'm going to do File Upload, or I'm sorry, Folder Upload this time. You could do File Upload, so Folder Upload. And then I'm going to go to, since it's on the desktop, I'm going to go to Desktop right here. And it looks a little bit like we've got Group 1 files. It looks like I've got it set so it's storing in the cloud for some reason. But let's see what happens. This could go weird. I just have a setting on my Mac that some of the files automatically get stored to the cloud, but it looks like it's okay. So this shows you your progress. We've got 5 of 6 and then 6 of 6, and then if you click on this, it should take you to where the folder is. Here we go, group files, Group 1 files, walking. The next thing you want to do is share to all of your group members, specifically to them, and make sure that the link is to Howell Public Schools too, just in case. When you add people to this, so let's see, we'll do share it to Huckleberry Finn. You can write a message, leave the notify people checked. Notice that this is what you're sharing. Click send. Now, everybody is welcome to go ahead and go to their email when they do this, or you can go to the shared with me folder, and then it should be someplace in the shared with me. All right, the next thing you want to do, last thing, is you do want to sign out of your Chrome browser. And to do that, let's see, you definitely want to sign out here. There's an easy sign out, so sign out here. And you can leave the person here, that doesn't matter. It's just you don't want it so that when somebody else opens it up, like if I go ahead and I click on this account, it shouldn't let people go all the way in. So close this, and then I'm not gonna sign out because I have a little more work to do before I go home today. I hope this video helps you to get the files from your camera onto the Mac. Good luck. Oh, once you've closed all this, and if you are the last person, you can go ahead and either click sleep, or you could click shut down. But please only do this if you're the last class of the day, and you've gotten instructions to do that. You can, it will go to sleep on its own. But yeah, there you go. Good luck.